How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another session of the Let's Talk show by Interlingua. As usual, I am your host, Mike Ruiz, and I'm glad to see all of you tuning in on a weekly basis to enjoy what we have for you guys in the Let's Talk show. And today we will make you wonder a lot of things. We will make you wonder about your life. We will make you wonder about your decision. Basically, do a little bit of recap of the path that has led you to where you are today. Because as the title says, what if? What if you have done things differently when you were, let's say, a teenager? What if you had studied an entire different thing than the one that you did? What if you have moved to a different place? How would your life would be? Have you ever thought about it? Is there a big change or a big decision that you had to do early in your life that has led you to where you are now? Be sure to participate in the comments and tell me about that. And of course, our guests today have very similar situations. All of them had practically made a lot of decisions. Some of them they wanted to do them, some of them they didn't want. But I'd like to think that they are both enjoying present. So, one of the guests is actually a veteran from the show, and one of them is practically new. So, everybody, welcome Geraldine and Jordi. Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how's it going? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
No, guys, as I said, as you know, Jordi, you guys are always welcome here once you participated, and I'm glad to have you, especially for this topic, which, what there isn't to talk about here. Choices, life-changing situations. But let's start. If there is a superpower that could help you in your everyday life, what would it be and how would you use it? Jordi.
Okay. Yeah. It's a question that I I ask myself a lot, and I can tell you for sure I would love to teleport.
I thought the same thing.
Teleportation.
Yeah. Well, in that case, either teleporting or being able to read people's minds.
No.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty heavy.
Yeah, because I am quite awful at body language and whatnot, and I never get things until like things explode and they tell me, "But I was telling you," and I was like, "No, you didn't." But
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
yeah. So that would be reading people's minds. That way, I would always know what people are thinking or what they are actually thinking. So yeah.
Why would that benefit you? Like, why would that be beneficial for you?
Because if I know that certain situations bother people, then I would try not to do those things. Or if I find out people enjoy or are happy with other things, I would try to do them like more frequently. So yeah, basically to be okay with people.
All right. Geraldine, welcome to your debut in the Let's Talk show. So feel free to share as much as you like with this question as well. If you had a superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
I also thought of teleportation. I think maybe it's because the both of us Mexico City. It's and I don't know. Maybe fast healing,
Fast healing.
like Wolverine.
Like Wolverine, yeah, I thought exactly the same. Wolverine and Deadpool. Are you involved in any, I don't know, dangerous activities or
I am clumsy and fearless, so it's the worst combination.
that's a good start. We're for a good start, guys. So, what about because I know Jordi likes animals a lot. Geraldine, you look like a cat person, dog person.
I am an animal person. I have a dog, but
Please,
when I was young, I had a really elder cat. Like I got it when I was 3, and she died when I was 23. So she lived 20 years.
It's a long life for a pet. However, the focus is here. See, you guys love animals. Basically, the question is the same. But for this topic, if you were an animal, which one would you be?
All right. An animal. I think I have my answer as well because one of those things that you randomly think about. And I would choose, or I would be a penguin.
That, I must confess that I didn't expect that at all. At all. It's a very unusual choice. I mean, I'm not criticizing, but I mean, people normally say, you know, a tiger, a lion, or even a bird. May I ask, why did you choose the penguin?
Bro, have you seen the penguins from Madagascar? No, of course not. No, no. I don't know. I just like them. They're just like around minding their own business. I like them.
Can they breathe underwater? No, right?
I don't think so, but I think they can drink salt water.
That's right. That's quite helpful.
Mm-hmm.
That's quite helpful.
Yeah. So yeah.
And how would you like? How would your life be like if you were a if you were a penguin?
I don't know. Chilling, I guess.
Bumps. I got it. I caught it. I caught it.
Yeah.
Is there
like
a?
that?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I am allowed. I am a father now. I can make that jokes. No, I think it would be like a very nice life, relaxed. I mean, except when there is like polar bear around or something. But I mean,
Or even seals, right? Or
seals, yeah.
am I getting there? Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
predator. What aspect of this animal in particular really caught your attention? Like something that they do on a daily basis, or maybe something about their anatomy?
I mean, it's interesting because I like penguins because when I was a kid, I got like a stuffed animal and it was a penguin, and from that moment on, it was like penguins. Penguins are the best. So yeah, honestly, there is not like a logical reason. It's just because of that. I like penguins.
Sometimes simplicity is better.
Yeah.
Oh, Thomas the Train quote. Wow. I'm sorry. I'm very happy about it. I never had the chance to do it. Now I did. Geraldine, same question for you. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Okay, my first thought was an otter because I like water a lot. But then I was thinking like I am really tall, so I cannot be an otter. That's too small. So maybe like a porpoise that is similar to a dolphin, but bigger and white as me and chubby, funny, clumsy. I think I'm a porpoise.
Oh. What calls your attention about these
Actually,
life forms?
It's my favorite animal, actually.
I must say, very unusual choices, but I'm glad you guys shared it with me. Share them. No, really, really. That's what the show is all about. I'm a fan of vampires as well. And I'm talking about living forever. Living forever. Imagine this. Staying the same way without dying, without being ill. What if you were immortal, guys? Would you like that? And what would your life be like? Jordi.
Well, talking about illnesses, that would be awesome. Like not getting sick,
Of course.
and not needing vaccines and whatnot.
Sure.
Uh, I mean, that part would be nice, but the part of existing like forever and watching people you spend time with pass away and whatnot. No, I wouldn't be able to handle that. Like, I mean, just imagine like you start a family and then some years later you watch your partner die, you watch your children die. It's like, no, and then your grandchildren and great grandchildren. I mean, that part is the only one that is like, but every other aspect about immortality looks fine. Like observing, I mean, now that I think about it now, because I was going to say observing the humanity's progress, but nowadays it feels like we are going backwards. So I would hate that as well. So no, I wouldn't really like to be immortal.
What about you, Geraldine? Well, let's imagine that you could live forever. How would your life be?
I'd rather have healing instead of being immortal. I don't know. I think immortal as a millennial, we don't we do not want to live forever, right? Like, no, yeah, no. We mean millennials don't want to live forever.
What if you knew that the exact date you are going to die? Let's just be fair. Let's be considerate a little bit. Let's say that you know that as of today, you have exactly 1 year to live. One. Just one. At this date next year, that's it for you. What would you do? How can you plan this last year of your lives? Jordi.
Well, obviously, if I knew I only have like exactly 1 year, I would spend as much time with my wife and my son as possible. Of course. I mean, I'm going to depart when he's like a little bit older than a year, so nah. And he's probably not going to remember me, but I mean, I would die knowing that I spent as much time as I could with him. I would make all the trips that my wife wants to make. She's not gonna like this, but I would go to all the concerts that I want to in this year. I would get into a mosh pit. Yeah, I don't know. Probably that would make my date of death closer, but I would do it. And just to finish, I mean, I am going to die on St. Patrick's, so I would spend my last day on Earth on exactly at a St. Patrick's parade, getting wasted. Yeah, why not?
Getting out with a bang.
Yeah,
Celebrate. All right. It actually sounds nice. What about you, Geraldine? What can you tell me?
I think I would get alone an Euro trip and go to like all of these countries I have ever wanted. Yeah, and I would like. I like the idea of finishing in Ireland, like St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Hey. Beautiful culture, beautiful country. Shout out to Ireland from the Let's Talk Show. Why not? Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
All right, guys. Now, let me focus in each one of you. First of all, Jordi.
Yeah.
It is quite known that you have many skills, you have many interests. I know your life. I know exactly where you're at right now, which, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
But have you imagined what would you like have been? How would you like been like if you had taken a different step? Let's say, what was the defining moment when you were in the university? As I understand, you were like, I don't want to say wandering, but you took different decisions.
Mhm.
You were taking some decisions.
Yeah.
So let's say that you would have focused. Let me bring one to the table. Just one skill.
Mhm. Yeah, sure.
Music. If you would have chosen to pursue music in a higher level, did you ever think about how would your life would have been like?
Yes, of course. If I had focused on music, I think number one, I would be living with my parents right now.
Okay.
Yeah, because like getting instruments, getting equipment is kind of expensive, so I couldn't afford like a place for myself, so I would be living with my parents. Probably I would be in a band. Probably not a big one, but I would be in a band. Or I might have become a music teacher. So I might have ended up as a teacher, but in a different area. Most likely, if I had a focus on music, I wouldn't have the beautiful family I have now. I mean, I wouldn't have met my wife for sure. And I wouldn't have had my son. Yeah, because I mean, as a musician, you're like, or at least I am, or I get very focused on my music. So yeah, it feels like you can settle. So yeah.
Oh, I really want to talk about this because I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, bro. Could you imagine nowadays your life if you hadn't become a family man?
No, not really.
Oh,
Because now that I think about it, my life before was like a little bit boring.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not everybody admits that. Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine continuing my life like without a family, like without my family, of course.
What have you learned with this sudden change? Big change.
It wasn't sudden. It was big, but not sudden.
Okay.
I have learned. It was difficult, but I have learned to communicate. Like I learned it like recently, like last month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, sometimes you get like overwhelmed, and if you don't express those things, eventually you explode, and it's like that. Or like you get like keeping things to yourself, and the other person is like all the time wondering what's going on. So I have learned to communicate. I have learned to, or I have learned this amazing skill of sleeping at any place at any time. Like basically, when the kid is sleeping, it's like okay, it's time to sleep. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but it's nice. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So glad to hear that, bro. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Geraldine, what about you? As I understand, you, in your own words, you were an athlete. Some years ago, you were a how's it? How is the right term? High
performance
eh,
athlete.
high performance. Thank you so much. I was going to say enhancement, but no, that's not it. I don't know why I associated with the with the term, but yes, high performance athlete. Could you give me a little bit of insight about, I mean, what happened, and do you imagine your life nowadays if you had still in that line of, well, not precisely work, but that line of profession, for so to speak?
Well, if I had continued, I don't know. Um, I mean, it's just in the imaginary, but I hope in the imaginary that if I had continued, I would have traveled a lot, maybe, and I don't know. I could maybe have ended going to the Olympics or something.
All right. What was your specialty? If you can
Uh,
share it with the viewers, please.
I was a rower, rowing, like on a boat, like a Viking. Yeah,
Oh, oh,
yeah.
oh. All right. And if may I ask, what made you change paths in life according to your situation?
Well, the thing was that when I was 23. So when you're an athlete, before 23, when you're sub 23, that's like the best age for almost every sport to be active in. Um, so after 23, or you either invest all of your life on it, or you don't. Like, there's no middle point. Like, there's no, like, if you don't take it seriously, then someone younger is going to take your place, just because that's how sports work. So if you are older than 23 and want to continue, you have to really show up for it. Like, and I was not sure, like, I started doubting. Then we have a change of president here in Mexico, and they took away my, well, it's not a scholarship because it's sport. I don't know how to say it. My payment, like, well, they used to pay me for it, so I don't know. So they took it away from me, and I was like, okay, so I'm 23, and let's imagine, because if it's a sport and I don't have fast healing, if I get injured and I cannot do this anymore, then how am I going to support myself? Like, I don't know anything. Like, I don't have any other, I don't know how to do anything else, because I have been doing this for the past 8 years. Like, I
Mm,
so I started wondering, and I just got worried. Like, no, like, I'm going to turn 30 or whatever, and whenever I have to quit this, then I won't have any other thing to do, and I'm going to starve and die. Well, not like that, but that was what I was thinking. So I just thought of taking some time and studying a degree, and then coming back. But then life happened, and it took longer than I thought it would. So yeah.
life happens, but hey, it doesn't end
Yeah.
necessarily, of course. Doesn't it? Like, there's always a different path. Like, well, to look at it optimistically, you know what people say, if one door closes, it's because another one pops up or opens up.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm really grateful for you sharing everything that you have, from your opinions to details of your personal lives. And I wish we had more time to do so, but it's almost time to wrap things up. Not without finish the session with the now traditional rapid fire round. Number 1. What interests you the most? Restarting your life or to reincarnate on a different being? Jordi.
From those two, reincarnate.
Okay. Geraldine, what about you?
But I have a quick question. Like, if I reincarnate, would I remember my previous life?
I don't know. I haven't reincarnated myself. Let's see. I'm going to go with no to make it a little more interesting.
Okay, I will restart my life then.
All right. All right. What would you prefer? What skill would you prefer? Be able to fly or being super fast like Flash or Quicksilver? Jordi.
Be super fast because I'm afraid of heights.
Understandable. I am too. Geraldine, what about you?
Yeah, I'll be super fast as well.
All right. Now this is when I get mixed reviews. What would you like? To live in space? Be able to live in space? Or to live underwater?
Underwater.
Underwater.
Really?
Yeah, my favorite superhero is Aquaman, so yeah.
I'm getting a lot of first choices with you, bro. Like, that's wonderful. Could you imagine the things? I mean, we haven't explored a minimal part of the entire ocean. Could you imagine all the things that lie down there? What there is, what there isn't?
Yeah.
Well, what there is mostly. All right. So both of you underwater. And just to wrap things up, it can even be a person that you know or a famous person. But if you could trade lives with someone, who would that be? Jordi. I would love to be The Rock.
I don't know, man. Probably. Okay, there is this guy I follow on YouTube. I really admire him. His name is Jackson Crawford. He's an expert in Scandinavian languages. But he's very cool. He likes, I mean, this is like unpopular, but he lives like in a very mountainy area. He likes hunting. I think he has a farm, but he knows a lot. So if I could be him for a day, that would be great.
It's the guy with a cowboy hat?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look into him. Yes. He's a Scandinavian. All right. Interesting choice. What about you, Geraldine? If you could trade lives with someone, who would that be?
I don't know. Probably I cannot say anyone because the person I would like to trade my life with is probably not famous because he's living in a small cabin in the woods.
It's okay. It's your choice. It's your life. Whatever makes you happy. Whatever you become.
Yeah, I would probably trade my life for someone who's living like on the mountains or in a small cabin with internet access. So
Okay, guys. Thank you so much for sharing your answers. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us. And as I said earlier, you're always welcomed here at the Let's Talk Show.
Thank you.
thank you.
You're very you're very welcome, guys. Have a glorious day, and I'll be seeing you. And that's it for you folks as well. For all of our viewers, be sure to tune in on a weekly basis for the Let's Talk show. We had Geraldine, we had Jordi, Eric Rios was in the control. I am Mike. Goodbye, and good night. Back.